God. I don't even know where to go. There's flames literally right there. Yeah, go, go, go.
It is not a good situation. Evacuations in place for a fire burning near Cheney. We've got team coverage tonight, bringing you the latest on the Badger Lake fire.
We are also tracking a fire out of Whitman County today. We'll bring you the very latest from the scene.
And we continue to track very hot weather across the inland Northwest with excessive heat warnings in your forecast next.
And no football on the Palouse this fall, but will local businesses survive without Cougar fans? Our Amanda Rowley heads down to Pullman.
And there is more breaking news tonight. Coeur d'Alene schools have announced their back-to-school plans. So here are two things to note. Students will start the school year in a blended learning model, and the school start date is now delayed to Monday, September 14th. We'll have more information coming up in a few minutes.
Well, all of a sudden, we would see just this black plume of smoke just billowing, and then you just see a whole entire tree on fire.
Also breaking tonight, we are tracking the Badger Lake fire out of Cheney. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Hello everyone, I'm Tom Sherry. Whitney is off tonight. We've got your team coverage this evening as several fires burn near Cheney. Amanda Rowley is standing by with updates from the field. She'll be joined by Brandon Jones. We're also tracking a fire out of Whitman County where Taylor Vito has the latest information for us. Amanda, we want to get started first with you.
Yeah, good evening, Tom. Right now, firefighters are battling three fires that are relatively close together in the Cheney area. Now, the largest of the three being Badger Lake Fire, which is about 200 acres. Now, take a look at this map just to give you an idea of the area we're talking about here. The Badger Lake Fire is located about 10 miles southwest of Cheney. Now, to the east of that fire is the 27-acre Williams Lake Fire, just south of Badger Lake. Level 3 evacuations do remain in place tonight for Badger Lake Estates and Cutthroat Road. Level 3 meaning people living in that area must go now. Public Information Officer Don Malone says evacuation orders could change tonight, but are likely to remain in place through tomorrow. We had a chance to see the fire up close this afternoon. Malone says so far no homes have been destroyed, but the fire did burn down a couple outbuildings, a chicken coop, and a lean-to. Right now, the cause of the fire is still being investigated. Now, fire crews tell me they are grateful for the partnerships with the local fire departments in the area. They say the local response has been critical to their efforts.
Resources are going everywhere. This is the time of the year where everybody's kind of staffed up, especially our wildland resources. I think the biggest thing that really helped us here was our partnerships with the other fire agencies in the area. So it made for a quick response.
At this point, firefighters have 0% containment of the 200-acre Badger Lake fire, and the goal right now is to continue working those hot spots and covering the perimeter of the fire. Meantime, they say expect to see some smoke continuing through the area. I'm Amanda Rowley with KREM 2. Joining me now is Brandon Jones. He's been able to talk to a few folks that were affected directly by the fire.
Yeah, Amanda, that's exactly right. For most people closest to those flames yesterday, they were just out trying to enjoy a relaxing Sunday, get out on the lake and cool down with all of this dramatic heat that we've been experiencing over the past few days. I spoke with one woman who really just captured some fascinating video. She was right next to the flames, watching the whole thing go off and wondering when they would have to get out as soon as possible to get to safety. She captured some videos of them driving actively through the entire situation. Fires were surrounding them the entire time, pots of smoke beginning to bloom up. She actually told me at one point they felt the windows and it felt like, just kind of like a sauna. That's how hot it was. But throughout the entire ordeal, one thing she did point out to me was that there was a lot of communication, a lot of, positivity, not positivity necessarily, but a lot of, people just remaining calm to make sure they got out of the situation safe. She was able to get out safely with her family and everyone else, and that's what she said was most important.
We just see all of a sudden just the smoke coming up, and we didn't really know where it's coming from. We're like, okay, wow, there's a fire, but no big deal, it'll be fine, they'll put it out, and it just starts spreading. Like within like an hour, it had spread to the road, and everyone is trying to get out of their boats, like onto their trailers and get out.
Yeah, Kendra, she described to me that it was kind of like a situation almost out of a movie. She said she never really would have expected to be in a situation like that, but they were all able to get out safely. One of the complicated things about it, though, was just the lack of signal. So people who were able to get out before her, they weren't able to communicate and let them know that, hey, we got out safely, we're in a safe environment right now. But like I did say, a lot of people were able to get out of there safely, and right now we're at the Cheney Middle School where the command post is set up right down the street. As Cheney High School, and if anyone needs to shelter or evacuate from their home, that is the place to do it. Cheney Rodeo also told me that if anyone needs to get their animals into a safe environment, they're willing to open the ground and make sure they have that tool. Live from Cheney, Brandon Jones, KREM 2 News.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're also tracking a fire out of Whitman County today. The Chief Timothy fire has burned more than 1,400 acres, about 6 miles outside of Clarkston. Authorities say it started after an RV caught fire alongside the road. No one was hurt and no structures have been damaged. KREM 2's Taylor Vito has been following the fire for us in Whitman County today. He joins us live now with the latest. Taylor? Oh boy. We seem to have an issue with Taylor Vito's microphone right there. We'll try to get that reestablished and get back to him as soon as we can. In the meantime, we'll move on to our next story. For the latest updates on all the wildfires burning in our area, just text the word wildfire to 509-448-2000. We'll send that information directly to your phone. On that note, time now to check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry. He is tracking near record high temperatures as we start the work week. Tom, Mother Nature is certainly not giving firefighters any help today.
Well, take a look at this. We've got the Badger Lake fire and, of course, incredibly hot conditions happening out at Badger Lake. 100 degrees right now. That is the current temperature out there for those firefighters. Just a terrible situation. The only thing going in their favor, the winds. The winds are still in the single digits. So again, 0% containment out at that fire, but just horrible conditions for these firefighters to be battling those fires out towards Badger Lake. Well, as you would expect, we've got continued heat advisory, excessive heat warning, I should say, in the upper Columbia Basin, also portions of eastern Washington, the lower Columbia Basin, and that includes the Spokane area, as many of these areas are going to get up to 100 degrees or even above 100 degrees. We've got a heat advisory across everywhere you see shaded in orange, and this is very problematic. This was just issued about an hour or two ago. That is a severe thunderstorm watch through this afternoon into the evening hours up until 10 o'clock. There's a storm system moving up from Oregon, and we get any kind of lightning in southeastern Washington, northeastern Oregon, or north central Idaho. That is going to blow up into a wildfire because it is tinder dry outside. Current temperature in Spokane, 98 degrees. You'll see increasing clouds tonight, and then we'll see a chance of rain in Spokane or isolated thunderstorms. A better chance of those thunderstorms, though, down in southeastern Washington and north central Idaho. Tomorrow, it's another hot one. We'll start out with mostly cloudy skies, and then we'll look for partly cloudy skies by the afternoon and a high of 98. It cools down to 90 over the weekend, so it's almost a 10-degree drop. We'll see 90 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday. I'll check the rest of your 7-day forecast, all coming up in a few minutes.
Looking forward to that one, Tom. Thank you very much. Breaking within the hour, authorities in Chelan County looking for 2 missing hikers. The Chelan County Emergency Management says both Hope Ryan and Kristen Jost were last seen hiking the Enchantments Loop on Saturday. They were expected to be done by about 8 p.m. Authorities say they were supposed to hike from Stewart Lake Trailhead to Snow Lakes Trailhead. If you have any information on their whereabouts, you are urged to call that number right there at the bottom of your screen. Let's get back to our breaking news today. Today, Coeur d'Alene School District announced they will begin the school year with a blended learning model. Under this model, students will attend school in person 2 consecutive days a week and remotely the other 3 days. Students will also attend in person according to this plan. Those whose last names begin with A through the letter K will attend in person on Monday and Tuesday. Those whose last name begins with L through Z will attend in person on Thursday and Friday.